Let's see how to set up sample database on a Windows computer. Here just I will provide the file, the sample database file in the description link. You can create sample database by utilizing that link, right? uh, just open your that SSMS, go to SSMS, in search SQL SSMS search. Later it will open like this. You will get once connect to server. Just nothing, no need to do anything. Just sometimes it will ask can trust the certificate, something like it will ask here in latest versions it is asking, so you can check the box, trust the certificate and check the box and connect it. See, authentication type, in company, while we are working with company, they will provide, client will provide the server name, database engine and all, authentication and all, client will provide here. As already we installed Microsoft will already provide this in authentication. No need to worry about this. Let's go to here object explorer, and that is if you look at the object explorer, here we are connected to this server here, and within the server we can have various databases. See, if we expand the databases tab, at the moment we don't have any user database, we just have some system database that's SQL comes with. So what we are going to do now is we are going to open up that SQL file and run it to create our own user database, sample database. So I will provide that sample database file in description link. You can raise a request and you can open that. So just one way of doing it is to click on this little open file button here, or you can go file open option will be there, folder file, like that, downloads, sample database. Just open the sample database, click on it to open, and so we no need to just make sure that your cursor is placed anywhere within the script, and we are going to click on that. Just make sure that, right, execute button one time enough. It will create the new database as well as the tables in that database. I will click on execute and it takes a moment to run, and it look like it was all successful. What we are going to do now is, now to check it is, we are going to go to database here, right click on database and then click on refresh, and as you can see here, we have sample database in the object. So this is our new database. If we expand that and then we expand tables, right, see, these are all the tables in the database, and we will be querying these tables throughout the course, right. So let's just write a quick query now. I'm going to click on new query to open up a new query. See, click on this. You can see just default we call SQL query 1. I am going to type the keyword use, and then I am going to write sample database, right. So in SQL Server you so many databases are there. So I already explained in previous session. SQL Server is consists a combination of so many databases. So here we have to mention which database you are using, current database, on which database you are working, you have to mention, right. So here little bit different to SQL Server is little bit different than SQL. So here you have to use the sample database and go. See, the master database is currently is there. After you execute this, that master will change it to sample database. See, master is there, right, the corner, left corner. drop down, all the database will be there. Use keyword, and this go here, go always needs to go by itself on a separate line, and this is a batch separator, and we will cover later, right? Also click on execute, and you can see here now you are connected to sample database. Alright, so let's write a quick query. Let's just type down here select star, and then on a new line type from, select star, type from, then we are going to go from HCM.employees, so you can even type HCM.employees, or else you can drag the employees, right, table name from here, so that we can drag and drop it from the object explorer. Notice that when we do the drag and drop, it's automatically put these square brackets around name and the name table, right? It does this by default, and the reason why it does this is just in case there are spaces in the object name are there, like in this case we don't have any spaces in either the schema or the table name, and therefore we don't actually need this square bracket. So if we remove them, it would still work okay. So if I get rid of those, and it's good practice to end all our statements with a semicolon. Every statement should end with a semicolon. I already explained previously in a starting session. So this is the what we want to run, and then click on execute. This is the basic IT professional how execute the query. Select star in one line, and from HCM, basic. It looks little bit beautiful, right? Like that. So now in our first query, all we have done is we have selected all the columns from the employee table, right? See, so this employee table belongs to the HCM schema. HCM, I already told, HCM dot employees means employees is the table belongs to HCM schema. Schema is nothing but database object. Schema is a database object. Database is consists of so many schemas, right? See here, database, sample database. In sample database, tables, schemas, HCM, bird, OES, schemas are their views. These are all programmability, synonyms. These are all objects, database objects, right? So schema is one of the database objects. See, sample schema. Has been a bit like a folder. Schema is nothing but like a folder. It works like a folder that we can store logically related items. So in this case, HCM schema, we have employees, department, jobs, and locations, right? See, HCM schema, OES, in OES schema, customers, inventories, order items, so many are there, etc. Also some schema bird. We have put a separate line for the readability, but we could have actually put it up here, and it would still work. Okay, let's write query. We are going to do another select, and this time we are just going to some columns. I already explained. Let's say I just want the employee ID and first name, and let's say the salary. So we just specify each column name separated by a comma, then by readability. I will put the line. So we are saying from we are selecting these columns from the HCM.employees table. I'm going to copy that from there, semicolon, to end it, and we will highlight just the query to execute. Click on execute. You can click on F5 on your keyboard for the shortcut. That just select a few columns from the table. See, if we don't highlight it, it would actually run all the queries in that file. So if we click on execute, the first result there is query which is all the columns, and the second is just a few columns as we will discuss later in the course. It is generally best practice to specify the column names rather than using select star. However, this is still very useful if we just want to see all the columns in a table, and we can also save this file. So you can click on here, you can go files, save as, so you can save it somewhere on your computer and note that it comes up as a SQL file, .SQL file. So .SQL is the file execution for SQL files. .SQL. So I am going to save this one, and I am just going to call it my first query, and I am going to save it on desktop. Now I am going to close this down. So I am going to close this, and we don't need the sample database script anymore because we have already executed. So we will close that, and I am going to close SSMS. Now on the desktop you can see we have saved that query, so you don't need to save your queries. Often it's useful to do if you want to come back. Then I can actually open this up either in SSMS, or I would actually always open it up just in a text editor. So on my computer I got Notepad++. So if I open with that, see what nice about Notepad++ is that it automatically highlighted SQL keywords in that. So SQL file, of course we can't execute anything here because this is not connected to the database. So we'll have to open it up SSMS in order to run it against the database, right? Okay, so that's it for now. See you in the next lecture, right?